Once upon a time, in a small village near a big city, there lived a beautiful girl named Sarah. She was 23 years old and single. Sarah had blue eyes and golden hair. His name was Tom, and he had come to the village to visit his grandparents who lived nearby. Tom had brown hair, green eyes, and a charming smile. She felt relieved, thinking that maybe her mother was right and she should not have spoken to him. But as the days went by, she started missing his company and the way he made her laugh. She missed his compliments and the way he looked at her as if she were the only girl in the world. Everyone had been rooting for them since the moment they had laid eyes on the happy couple. They had 2 beautiful children, a boy and a girl, and they lived happily ever after in their cozy little house in the village. It is a tale that will make you believe in true love again and remind you that happily ever after really does exist. The end. Was it interesting? Let me know in the comments below. Now I have a question for you. Have you ever been in love? If yes, share your experience with us. I would love to read your comments. That's all from my side. I hope you enjoyed the story. Thank you for listening. I'll see you next time. As the story of Sarah and Tom spread throughout the land, it became a beloved local legend. People would often come from far and wide to visit the village just to see where the 2 lovers had gotten married. And every year on the anniversary of their wedding, the villagers would hold a festival in their honor. What does the word flirtatious mean? Can you give an example of a flirtatious girl? What does the word stranger mean? Do you meet a lot of strangers at work or at school? What does the word secret mean? Can you keep a secret? What does the word affair mean? Was the wedding an elegant affair or a simple affair? What is the opposite of the word happily? What is the opposite of the word ever? It was a time for the community to come together and celebrate the power of love and the importance of following your heart. The wedding ceremony was held in the village square, and it was a beautiful affair. Sarah looked stunning in her white dress, and Tom looked dashing in his suit. You can improve your listening skills by listening to our audio stories. We have hundreds of stories from easy level to advanced level. If you want to become fluent in English faster, we have some wonderfully designed online English courses. So what are you waiting for? Go to our website now and start learning English today. Their vows to each other were heartfelt and sincere, and everyone in attendance could feel the deep love they had for each other. After the ceremony, there was a big reception with food, drinks, music, and dancing. The newlyweds took their first dance as husband and wife, and it was clear that they were meant to be together. Meanwhile, Tom was also thinking about Sarah. He couldn't stop thinking about her beautiful blue eyes and sweet smile. He had never met a girl like her before and was eager to see her again. He was tall and muscular and looked like he could do many things. Despite being an outsider in the village, Tom had quickly made friends with everyone. He knocked on the door and Sarah's mother opened it. Tom was so nervous that his hands were shaking. He took a deep breath and asked for her daughter's hand in marriage. Mrs. Smith was shocked. She had never expected Tom to propose to her daughter so soon. She told him that she needed time to think about it and to come back the next day for an answer. Tom, desperate to know her decision, returned the following day, but Mrs. Smith still hadn't made up her mind. This continued for several days, and Tom became increasingly worried that she would ultimately refuse him. Because of his easygoing personality and sense of humor, he loved talking to people and hearing their stories. She had never seen her mother so secretive before, and it was driving her crazy with worry. One night, Sarah couldn't take it anymore. She confronted her mother and demanded an explanation. Her mother finally broke down and told her that she had received a marriage proposal for Sarah from another family, and she had been considering it. Sarah was heartbroken. She had never even met this other suitor, and she couldn't imagine spending her life with someone she didn't love. She begged her mother to let her marry Tom instead, promising that she would never bring her shame. Mrs. Smith was moved by her daughter's pleas. and she agreed to let her marry Tom. When Sarah first saw him, she couldn't help but smile back at his infectious grin. She found herself drawn to him like a magnet and suddenly felt shy about the way she looked. She quickly tried to shake off these feelings as she didn't want to be seen as a flirtatious girl who was only interested in Tom's good looks. She also had a very sweet and caring heart. She was known throughout the village for her kindness and generosity. He complimented her on her beauty and asked if he could walk her home. Of course, she agreed and they started chatting right away. They talked about everything and nothing, and Sarah soon realized that Tom was not just good-looking, but also intelligent, funny, and kind. They walked together to Sarah's house, and when they arrived, Tom asked if he could see her again. Sarah blushed and stammered, trying to say yes, but before she could respond, her mother came out of the house and asked who he was. When Sarah explained that Tom had simply been walking her home after meeting him at the market, her mother was furious. She scolded her for talking to strangers and ordered her to go inside. Poor Sarah was deeply disappointed, but she had no choice but to listen to her mother. Every day she would wake up early in the morning to help her mother with household chores such as cooking, cleaning, and taking care of their animals. After finishing her daily tasks, she would go to the market to buy fresh produce from local farmers. She always made sure to give them a fair price for their goods because she knew they worked hard to grow and harvest their crops. One sunny afternoon, while Sarah was walking through the market, she saw a handsome young man standing by a fruit stall. As fate would have it, Tom approached Sarah and introduced himself. The following day at the market, Sarah tried to avoid Tom, but he was nowhere to be seen. One evening, Tom decided to go to Sarah's house and ask her mother for permission to marry her. Meanwhile, Sarah couldn't understand why her mother was keeping her and Tom apart. The entire village was buzzing with excitement when they heard that Sarah and Tom were getting married. In the years that followed, Sarah and Tom's love for each other only grew stronger. So if you ever find yourself in a small village near a big city, be sure to ask the locals about the legend of Sarah and Tom. Now you're listening to a simple love story for English learners. Now let's talk about the story. What did you think about the story? Did you like it? Now let's check your vocabulary. What does the word single mean? Is it possible to be single at 40? What does the word handsome mean? You can improve your English step by step. Don't be discouraged if your English is not perfect. Be patient and keep practicing. Your spoken English will improve with time.